Alright, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This video I'm gonna go over the market, right, for balisongs, right? What's the best for under 100, and then I'll go through the price ranges of 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, and 500 and above towards leaning towards grails, right? Which is I classify as 500 above and like 700 and all of that, right? So I'll get into that, right? And I'll also be talking about trainers versus live blades. As you can see, I don't have any trainers because I don't like trainers. I stopped using trainers about 2 years ago. So I'll go into the trainer versus live blade first. So with your live blades, right? What you'll be essentially purchasing, right? A butterfly knife with a live blade instead of a trainer, right? I know nowadays, I'm noticing since it's like my 4th year of flipping. I know I said in the replicant video, I have like 5 years. No, it's 4 years. All right, staying corrected. I've been flipping for 4, right? A lot of younger kids are getting into the hobby of balisong manipulation and balisong flipping, right? So I'll have these models lined up so you can see representing the different tier groups, right? And I'll get into the under 100 right now. So with trainers, right? Trainers are good for practicing tricks and not getting yourself cut. Say if you live in a state in the United States where you cannot legally carry balisongs, right? Or you're like a kid, dude. Like honestly, like as a parent, I would say as a parent or an uncle. I don't have any kids myself, but I can understand why parents would be afraid of letting their kids buy live knives and doing tricks with them, and with the possibility of getting hurt, right? So trainers, the pro of having a balisong trainer is that, let's say you're you're getting new into flipping, right? And you want to start somewhere, right? But you don't have enough money, right? So that's where the under $100 category comes in, right? Trainers are good for people who are new to the hobby itself, right? So I would recommend under the $100 range, a Squiddy, right? From Squid Industries, right? They make a good plastic trainer. It's a toy. It's TSA approved. You can go on a plane with it, right? It's fine. It's good. It's good for kids if they're interested in the hobby. And then when they're older, they can hold a job. They can get a live blade. Or when you see they're more responsible, you can let them have a live blade, right? Or when they're an adult, right? Makes sense, right? So with another pro of trainers, people can practice difficult or advanced tricks without the fear of getting bit really bad. So since I've been flipping for 4 years, I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but I have like a slight ring of shame on my middle finger when I was doing Rev Chaplains, when I was doing it by a replicant, I know. So that's a pro of trainers, right? Cons of trainers, I would say trainers do develop bad habits, right? So I used to own a squid trainer by Squid Industries. I love the squid trainer. I still think that's probably my favorite trainer, right? For $150, right? From that range of $100 to $200. The squid trainer right now, when I had it, it was a squid trainer V2 back in like 2018. With like trainers, you can do a bunch of tricks in practice, right? But it will develop bad habits. For an instance, I was doing, I think, a certain combo that involved Rev Chaplains, right, from a scissor, and I was used to doing it on the bite handle. I didn't know how to figure out how to get around that until I got bit by my replicant, right, when I was trying to do that trick from a trainer to a live blade, right? And there's a bunch of controversy against, trainers, oh, we can't do that with a live blade. I can understand if you're in an area, where you can't flip outside with a live blade because people will think that you're dangerous or something like that, right? Like anything can be a weapon, like a shoe, right? I don't know. Like something like that, right? So I'll be moving on to now the price is right of where and the best models I think for each. So under $100, if you're new to flipping, just getting into it, highly recommend a Squiddy, right? It's only $50. You can get a blemished one for $38, right? I'm not affiliated with Squid Industries or anything like that, right? But I really do like their products. Same with BRS, right? So, for under $100, if they're really new into flipping, don't know if they're gonna be into the hobby itself, get an Amazon trainer, not a curved CS:GO one, like an actual like rainbow color $10 cheapo, right? If they get really good into flipping over like a year or like 6 months, right, then I would suggest upgrading, right, to like possibly from to a Mako, right, the shark trainer from Squid Industries. That's pretty fire too for under 100. Moving on to $100 to $200, I feel like the Squid Trainer V3 is a perfect match, right? You won't find that many live blades for 100 to 200, except for maybe the Kershaw Lucha. I heard that's the new one on the block, right? I haven't tried one myself, but I feel like balisongs in that range aren't really worth getting unless it's like a Squid Trainer V3, right? Or maybe maybe a Benchmade 51. Maybe. I don't know. I had one Benchmade 51 and I wasn't so into that. So moving on from the $100 to $200 range, that's all I can think of at the moment. Moving to $200 to $300. So in this range, you can get a Civix Gale, right? That titanium trainer. That one's really cool too. I like the sound it makes, right? You can also get like a Crake Raken trainer, right? I rather not spend the money for a trainer at $200. That's just me. I rather just get a live blade, right? So with the live blade options for $200, $300, it's you have the Squid Industries Kraken, model Kraken, like Kraken. So this is my Bowie Kraken, right? I bought some titanium pivots. I don't know if it'll focus, right? So this is the screw part. This is the sex bolt, right? I swapped the handles. It originally came in a gunmetal, right? Swap the blades. I prefer the Bowie with the silver combo. Plus it makes a better sound. Right? So I'll leave that out so you can see it. You can get also a Tonto, right? This is a Tonto gunmetal essentially. All the silver, like all the matte finish Krakens feel the same. It's just color difference. But I can do say the Tonto does flip more flowy, if that makes sense. Like you can just pick a Tonto up and get used to it. The Bowie, I had to kind of like practice more with it to get used to how it flows. It flows a little different, but I think I covered that in my other video. All right, so still in the $200 to $300 range, you have, it moves, if you can get, so it's like the middle of 300 to 400 now, right? We're moving to the Replicant, right? I'd say out of all the balisongs in that price range, I'm gonna move this over here so you can see it. The Replicant is the best flipper, right? It's either this or a regular standard Alpha Beast, right? Like a sandwich Alpha Beast, right? So with a Replicant, right? Replicants go on the secondhand market for $350, right? I've seen it max $400. I would never overpay for a Replicant, right? I would try to get on a drop instead, right? Pay the retail of $270.99 plus shipping and taxes, right? Or get a Lamia drop, which is like what, European or something like that, and they pay like what, $380, $350 or whatever, right? But you're still getting a good flipping product. So BRS, before Squid made live blades, Squid was known for trainers, right? And with the under 300 range, this is what you would get. You would get a BRS replicant. I've had probably about 8 replicants so far. This is my 8th one, right? I've had the Alt and the Tonto, right? They don't make trainers for replicants unless it's secondhand, like OSP or Hourglass Blades. The replicant, I think I covered this in my videos. It's probably my favorite knife, right? I mean, it's this or the Bowie Kraken right now for favorite to flip, right? Like, I've had so much hands-on time with a replicant that this is like a standard. Like, this is a standard. You're gonna want a replicant, trust me. Like, you can beat it, right? You can safe coin it, right? I mean, the only issue is people hate the tap some people get from dropping it, right? So, I don't know, I'll do a tap check. You can hear that. So it's on the safe handle side. You can easily fix that by just dropping it on that same affected side or the opposite side to like reset the bushings essentially, or the washers. I don't know how it's done, but you can do that too. So now moving on to the replicant, you know, with the modifications for the replicant, you can get like custom G10 scales, carbon fiber scales. You can get the Firefox titanium spacers, right, which are full length, right, and they'll cover like a fake channel, right, for the replicant. It'll make a weird sound. It's not my favorite sound. I prefer the OG magnet sound that it gives off, right? It's the replicant. I also put titanium Squid's tie screws in there. Shout out to Squid. Yeah. So I'll leave this open so you can see it. All right, moving on to the 500, like 400 to 500 and 500 and above, all right? So representing this category is the Channel Alpha Beast, right? So I had this for about 2 months now. Sound check. Right, it's cool, right? Design was really placed on this. Out of all the Alpha Beasts, this is my favorite one. I've had multiple sandwich. I had Alt, a thin Scimitar Standard, a thin Premium. I've had it all, and I can say I prefer the Channel Alpha Beast over a standard like sandwich construction, as you can see. Comparing the two, sandwich and channel. Channel Alpha Beast is better than the regular standard Alpha Beast. Makes a better sound. I think it flows better too. All right, moving on. At this range, you can find Jimpy Designs Sentinel, right? The Sentinel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's essentially a channel titanium knife with it looks like a Shigogi from a Kono Ishii, right, from Rorex blade. It looks like a samurai sword blade. It looks like a really cool one, right? It looks like the edge of a samurai blade. It looks really cool, like a katana, right? So at this range, you can get 500 above. So I'd say at entry level for this range is you can get a Chab or a Sentinel, right? You can also get what's really popular right now. I think it's the Machine Wise Marin. I think it's popular around the $400 range, right? Some people like it. I haven't tried one myself, but it looks cool. It's titanium, channel, all that good stuff, right? So now moving on to the Grail portion. So as you can see, I don't have anything there, so I'll just be walking around talking about it, right? So with the Grails, right? Move this over here. From 500 above, oh boy. You're going to be spending a pretty penny. So I'm going to list a couple off the top of my head right now that I can think of for Grail wise, right? So Benchmade 4Xs, right? So 42, 43, 47, right? Big three, right? For Benchmade, right? 4X, right? Channel titanium, right? It's die cast titanium, right? And not the cutout, right? You can get those in variations such as the production anodized, so like 42A, right, or serrated. I know the 42 comes in serrations, so you can get the 42AS or 42S, right, or like an MC, right, which brings it up in value, right. You'll be like, you can get a 42 for, I'd say, don't ever overpay for a 42. Probably like 450 max, 500 max for a 42, right? I would never pay more than that. Springer versus T-latch. For me personally, I like the T-latch better for flipping purposes, right? The Springer handles I feel like are too blocky, right? And they don't flow as well. I've used to own 42A, right, T-latch. I bought it from a friend off Instagram. It was a nice knife, but way too light for me. I didn't like the way it flipped. It like didn't chaplain. Not enough rear bias for me. I'm more of a rear bias kind of guy. So 42, yeah. Then you got the 43, right? 43s are hard to come by. I don't have anything to represent the 43, but you know, it's a Bowie titanium handle, that kind of thing, right? I'd say this is like a mix between a 43 and a squid trainer. Like that's what essentially the Bowie Kraken is. If you like the 43, I would get this. This is the most similar thing I have right now that flips really close to a 43. Except for the handles are longer, right? Oops, I hit my camera. Oopsie. But I'll put it like this. You can see the other side now. 47, right? 47, woo! They come for about $1,000, right? And 47s, whew, oh boy. They are pretty good. I'd say the closest thing maybe is a Tonto Kraken. I've heard from Assassin Flown himself, he said it on Instagram, not me, that the 47 and the Tonto Kraken flips and flows very similarly, and he likes them. So there you go. Moving on, Archangels, Tac 2 Bowies. That was my favorite knife of all time. It still will always be. BC Kukris are like, what, $2,000? Stuff like that. Konos, the Ryo Works Ga, right? The moth, right? Those are all like above $1,000, right? So if you're really into flipping, at that point, it's more an emphasis on like what Knife Caviar said, not me, right? None of the words I've said today are mine, right? Except for like what I felt about trainers, right? Or the fact that you're more on the collecting side with flippability. That's where grails come in, right? Word to Knife Caviar, not mine, right? Not my words. It's all him. He's a cool dude. You should subscribe to him on YouTube. But other than that, that's all I can think of at the time. I'll try to make this video not like under 20 minutes, right? But essentially with grails, right, you're looking for flippability, aesthetic, right, and price, right? It's always going to be hard to find a Tac 2 Bowie nowadays, right? Because since some people like to mod them, right? You're going to find a stock one. I feel like that's the best one, right? Archangels, Cold Steel Archangels. They're all good. I like them. I had a Spear Point one. I heard the white clip flips, wide blade clip point flips better. They're pretty good. I'd say they're worth the money, right? If you're really into them. EX10s, great knife. I would pay I paid the full 1,000. It was worth it, right? When I had. Other than that, that's about it. Thanks for watching this video, right? And I'll see y'all later.